Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're digging into a really powerful idea from a massive bestseller. What if the smallest changes you make could actually be the most important ones? We're breaking down the core concepts from James Clear's Atomic Habits to see how those tiny shifts can lead to, well, huge transformations. All right, let's kick things off with a pretty wild idea. We're all told to set these big, shiny, ambitious goals, right? But what if that's actually the problem? What if focusing so hard on the finish line is the very thing that's tripping us up? And that leads us right into Clear's central point. If you want real, lasting change, you've got to stop staring at the destination. Instead, you need to fall in love with the journey. You need to build systems. So what's the difference? Well, a goal is the result you want. The trophy at the end. A system, on the other hand, is the process that gets you there. It's the daily practice, the schedule, the boring stuff. A goal gives you this fleeting moment of change, but a system builds a foundation for improvement that lasts, and you actually get to feel good along the way, not just when you hit some far-off milestone. This quote just nails it. Think about it for a second. Every athlete in the Olympics has the goal of winning a gold medal. So the goal itself isn't what separates the winners from the losers. What does? It's their system. It's that relentless commitment to the tiny daily actions that add up over time. So what makes a system so powerful? Well, it taps into this incredible force that we usually only talk about with money, and that's the power of compounding. It's so easy to write off a small choice. Going to the gym once won't make you fit. Reading one page of a book doesn't make you a genius. In the moment, it feels like nothing. But each of those little habits is like compounding interest for you as a person. They build on each other day after day until the results are just staggering. And if you don't believe me, check out the math. If you get just 1% better at something every single day for a year, you don't end up 365% better. No. Thanks to compounding, you end up almost 38 times better. That's an incredible amount of growth from such a small daily effort. And this graph shows you exactly what that looks like. See that top line skyrocketing up? That's your 1% daily improvement. It shows how good habits can make time your best friend. But then look at the bottom line, that slow, steady decline. That's a 1% decay each day. It's how bad habits quietly make time your worst enemy. Okay, but it's not just about building a system. There's another layer here, one that goes even deeper, and honestly, it's the most powerful idea in the whole book. It's not just about changing what you do, it's about changing who you are. So often when we try to change, we fail because we're focusing on the wrong thing. We focus on the outcome, right? The result. But Clear argues that any change that really sticks isn't about what you get, it's about who you become. It's a shift in your actual identity. Look at it this way. Change happens on 3 layers. Most of us start on the outside, with the outcome. We say, I want to lose 20 pounds. But the most effective way to change is to start from the inside out. You start at the very core, with your identity. You decide, I am a healthy person, or I am an active person. The outcomes just naturally follow from that. I mean, how powerful is that? It completely reframes everything. Instead of chasing a one-off achievement, you focus on being the kind of person who just does these things naturally, as part of who they are. So, how do you build a new identity? Well, you prove it to yourself with small wins. Think of it like this. Every single action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. You meditate for 1 minute, that's a vote for, I'm a calm person. You put on your running shoes, that's a vote for, I'm a runner. You keep casting those votes, and eventually the evidence builds up and you start to truly believe it. Okay, so the theory is amazing, but how do we actually do this? This is where the book gets super practical. Clear gives us a simple 4-step framework for building these identity-based habits. These are the 4 laws of behavior change. Think of them as levers you can pull to basically engineer your own behavior. They're designed to work with your brain, not against it, to make good habits almost inevitable. All right, law number 1, make it obvious. This is all about the cue, the trigger for your habit. It needs to be right there in your face. If you want to drink more water, don't hide a glass in the cupboard. Fill up a bottle and put it on your desk. You want to learn guitar? Don't keep it in its case. Put it on a stand right where you'll see it every day. You're designing your environment to do the work for you. Law number 2, make it attractive. Let's be honest, we're more likely to do things we actually want to do. So you have to make your habits appealing. A great way to do this is called temptation bundling.
You pair an action you want to do with an action you need to do. For example, you only let yourself watch your favorite Netflix show while you're on the exercise bike. Next up, law number 3, make it easy. Look, our brains are fundamentally lazy. They're built to conserve energy. So you have to reduce the friction, lower the barrier to entry so much that it's harder not to do the habit. The best way to start is with the 2-minute rule. Scale any new habit down so it takes less than 2 minutes. Read every day becomes read 1 page. Go for a run becomes put on my running shoes. And finally, law number 4, make it satisfying. Here's the thing about our brains. They love immediate rewards. The problem with good habits is that the reward is often way down the road. So you need to find a way to give yourself an immediate win. This could be something as simple as a habit tracker where you get to check off a box. It sounds small, but that little hit of dopamine reinforces the behavior and makes you want to do it again. And what's so brilliant about this whole system is how it works in reverse. If you want to break a bad habit, you just flip the laws. You make the cue invisible, you make the craving unattractive, you make the action difficult, and you make the outcome unsatisfying. It's a complete toolkit for both sides of the coin. So let's pull all these threads together. This isn't just a list of separate ideas. They all work together. The 4 laws are the practical steps you take to build a system of tiny habits. And those habits, over time, compound to literally forge your identity. And that really brings us back to the heart of the book. This isn't about life hacks to get more stuff done. The deep, true power of habits is that they are the path to becoming who you actually want to be. It's not about having a clean house. It's about becoming an organized person. So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. Small habits don't just add up, they compound. Success isn't some goal you reach or a finish line you cross. It's a system you live by, and it's powered by the hundreds of tiny decisions you make every single day. And this whole process doesn't start next week or tomorrow. It starts right now with one tiny choice. So I'll leave you with a question on the screen. What 1% vote are you going to cast for your new identity today?